Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Big Massive Podcast. Me and Niall back. It seems like a wee while since we did it.
I know, must you?
Must you too? You wouldn't smell that fire tree just did there now.
No.
Smells
a
like
real
a sandwich.
fucking watery. Man, I think the way I feel today, if I actually did smell it, it would book.
Oh, did you have a wee too much drinky peas yesterday?
I had one beer.
When you walk through the storm,
People not want to hear this.
hold your head up, fuck them, high, and don't
Where'd you watch it?
be afraid. What? In the house?
I was chatting to somebody today, it was in Dicey's, and they were like, it was class, but I just don't want to be hanging here.
Didn't want to be sick, and man, everybody was out. Do you know what? During the match, I was thinking, you're never going to get the same buzz as winning the Champions League because the Champions League has to be won there and then.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But when that whistle went,
Yeah, it was
it
brilliant.
was like winning the Champions League. And it was like, you think about it. I was saying to my wee girl, I was her age the last time that Liverpool were able to celebrate winning the league.
You're taking out COVID?
1989. COVID, nobody really, there was no celebrations.
Well, that was a lot of the talk yesterday because there was no fans on the stadium. And they didn't actually want it in the stadium. They wanted...
The actual tour, the Topless tour. The Topless tour is going to be the last game of the season.
Aye, but I mean,
At home?
but the last time Man City dropped points during the week was Wednesday night, and all the players were sitting watching it in Anfield. They didn't want it.
Aye. John Barnes and all were on, and they were the last who won the league before we won it again, right? 89. But it was their 18th. Their 18th and about, like the United one, it was like nearly, they either won or didn't. It was either first or second, whole way through 70s and 80s, I think.
Right.
So they were treating it like, we'll win it again next year. And you knew when they were just going around Anfield, they were enjoying it, but they weren't like last night. It was just like, we'll be back again. United must have thought the same. Somebody had to tell you, and you're waiting 35 years before your next one.
I know.
So I said to my Waynes and all, even yesterday, I said, listen, enjoy this because that could be it.
Aye.
Could be it the rest of your life.
And do you know what? This season, more than any other season, I've realised how hard it is to win a league.
That's what I was going to say. So take United. They haven't won the league in 13 years, right? For them to go to 20 without winning the league is that they need to make a team win the league in the next 7 tries. That's none. Like Liverpool used to get a manager, stay 5 years, get the 4th, get the 3rd, might get the 2nd, and then the year after, 8th, then we sack him. So it's 5 years wasted. Then you do it again. So if this boy doesn't work for United, and there's no way he's going to make a league winning team in the next 2-3 years.
No, there's too many gaps in the team.
Too much going on, the stadium's falling. It reminds you, man, it's a carbon copy of when Liverpool... So Liverpool were brilliant because of the boot room. They didn't change anything. They brought whoever was in the boot room on the manager. Kenny Dalglish, Bob Paisley, Joe Fagan, even Evans.
Aye.
They're all boot room, but then it didn't work anymore. Where United came in and looked forward, made their club the biggest in the world financially, made it the most popular, made it the best. When I say financially, it's the best, what do you call it? What's the word for it? When you're seen like Real Madrid.
Oh, it's like a franchise, like it's
like the somebody shouting at the fucking speakers now. But
Blee.
Blee's shouting, but you can earn the most off it. They made it the best business ran club.
Oh, they're global, like.
Got an extension. Liverpool were staying in a small stadium. We weren't making the same money. We bought players that didn't work, but we never went down to 15th in the league.
No,
that never happened ever.
But it shows you how
it can turn.
But it shows you how results affect everything. Like United now, how to sack people, can't afford wages.
They're not feeding the fucking canteen workers.
But it just shows you just results. Ball going on the back of the net affects everything.
That's unbelievable. Like they have water dropping on like Anfield. I went to Anfield before it got its first renovation, and I went round the change rooms and all. I was like, "Is this it?" It's like Melvin Hall. I was like, "Is this it?" And then you'd stay there over, and so Klopp come in straight away. Change rooms needed changed. Moved to a new training area.
I've never done the tour.
Class. Moved to new training pitch. Brought all the young people together with like Klopp overlooked, and then he passed it on. Wasn't it nice for Marnie Slot to do the Jurgen Klopp song at the end?
No,
Just a class team.
I seen him talking that they've talked quite a bit over the season.
Apparently back in the 89-90 season 2 when they won the league, what happens in the last game of the season? You go out and go show them the trophy, put it away and then play the game and then head on. No, there's no big celebration, there's no walking up steps and handing them the trophy and doing the big...
All I could think about yesterday is what it must be like to be a player in that stadium, won the league, everybody singing your name.
Why would you think of going to Madrid? I don't think...
But it's not even that, man. Just the experience of being a hero to people. Like,
I know.
And on that day when you're champions and...
Yeah.
Like even when Salah took...
you did that, did you not?
Van Harps.
Van Harps.
But I mean even in terms of like...
We love you now.
Like even them having them pictures of Mo Salah taking a selfie with all the crowd behind him.
That was brilliant, wasn't it?
But that must...
And his goal was the perfect goal. It was like a cracker. It was the goal of the night.
Oh, fucking McAllister's was the goal of the night.
I don't know. Watch them back. But that's him now.
Did you get a wee sinking feeling when they scored?
No.
No?
No. Because I knew it was inevitable. I would hate it. I went over and they hadn't won. Like
I would just hate they not have won it.
5 games left. They had to get a point.
Aye, but I mean, I would hate it and not they've done it in Anfield.
I think Liverpool will be more confident next year. Like this year when they were way ahead, even 14 ahead, you never know, man. And fucking Liverpool, you know what they're like. Could just fuck it up.
Van Dijk stands massive.
I can see Trent then, man, I'm telling you.
We'll see.
You sit down and you think about it and then gets he's got now a few weeks to digest it. Then he's going to do the Topless tour and see millions of Liverpool people.
Topless tour? Who calls it that?
People like Topless tours.
Are you mean the open top tour?
That's what I call it.
Topless tour.
I'm probably meant to say what you're saying. Just people go around with a touch me.
It's my favourite tour.
I'm not missing the Topless tour. Fucking. Oh, Dolly Parton's greatest hits.
The Topless tour. Sounds like a show in Amsterdam.
Shows your greatest hits.
€3 under the Topless tour.
You just go around windows looking at people with tops off. Could be you. Doesn't have to be a woman.
Topless tour, very good, huh? Oh, have you been busy, Ron?
Weekend I was fucking flat. It's really is. So Thursday night was Boiler Room. I had 3 gigs at the weekend. Thursday night Boiler Room. Friday night
How did Live Pod winner JD?
Killed.
Really?
Killed. Did half the same set, but did the one about the wheels.
Aye.
Playing football. Brilliant. I think it was brilliant. What did happen was McAwee was MC, did a great job, but they were passing each other and they got mixed up and either they hug or hold or what. What Eamon forgot to do is put the mic back into the... So I bought a £16.50 mic. And when them two, it was just starting to go... And the heads and them two and me in the middle and they're looking at each other and I'm like... What the fuck? Are they stuck together? Then they just left and I'm left with the fucking... And I just took it on out. Went around there and around the corner to the mains and just brought the volume down a wee bit and it worked again. I'm going to have to invest in a decent mic, Rick. The mic I got $16.50, but somebody rang me and says, man, just try it out. You'd need about 4 of them, but just in case, you know what I mean? One breaks. That went well. Willie T come on. Had to laugh. Willie T and me and Eamon were in the green room and we were chatting about just stand up in general, and everybody's noticed there's a wee bit of a dip. People are not. I guess, do you know what? There's a dip in the pubs and everything, apparently.
Aye.
People aren't going out.
Aye.
Money, people can't afford it.
Aye, it's mental.
So, Eamon turned around and says, aye, you know what? I'm 6 years in, I'm 48, and, well, I went, what? He goes, what age? He was 48. And I went, no fucking way. And I thought, fuck, he definitely looks 48. What do you mean? No. He thought Eamon was about 63. He said, no, he said, to be honest, I thought you were decent looking 63. But he thought he was the same age as Tim McGuire in the boys. And McAleese.
But you know what? If you didn't know him, if there was no context, like you have the
Me and
context.
him are the same age, like.
Aye.
And when you see photos, I look fucking more get at his age than.
Well, fucking Eamon's whole act is around how bad he looks.
Yep.
Very good, hey?
Aye. So and then on Saturday night we're in Dungannon GA.
Don't give him.
Dungiven. What do you call it was on straight across from the barracks. Man, cracker gig. But I'll tell you where to get that. Because I met a few boys that listen to the podcast who were shaking my hands if we were famous. That's what happens when you leave the town.
Right.
More exotic, remember I was saying? But Saturday night, fuck. This is what, if it wasn't for me doing comedy stand-up now, 6 years, I would have fucking destroyed me on Saturday night.
No way.
So, Saturday night, Kiwis, they're renovating the club. So they moved us up to the theatre. I said, them fucking...
Oh, I've seen it. Gary had a thing up.
Guy who goes up there when he knows it's going to be a big act that'll sell more. But it holds 200 or so. And I said, man, because 150 was at this. And when you look out, it just looks packed. Because what I did was a good move, was just block the seats that make sure they come from the front up. I said, man, I would use in there for every gig. Even 100. Bring it back. Anyway. One of them gigs I was opening. Who was on? There was me. Let me check. Let me see. So Gary Pollock obviously runs it. There was me and Adam Byrne.
Yeah.
Adam Byrne and Eddie Malarkey. Isn't it Malarkey? He's coming back. He's brilliant. Dublin act. I've actually prepared for this one. See when you're doing a drive up to like Port Robertson, you're just going through your head. I'll try this. I'll try it. I actually did a cracker bit. I went out, and they fucking love. It was like you're talking top 10 gigs. One of them real fucking actually was coming up with stuff on stage. Says if anybody doesn't know me, I do a lot of cross community work. Like I'm a Catholic, I dressed up as an orange man, so the Free Day corner. They love me then, you know what I mean? And then I was slashing, killing, bang, bang, bang. There's a joke I do. So I'll tell you what happened. I was about 19 minutes in, and I was just going, do you know the doorman bit I do?
Aye.
Everybody knows it. But that's my finisher. I think the Traveller one now is getting better responses now than the doorman, so I might
Switch him.
open with the doorman and close with it. So, the joke I did, right?
So you have 1 minute left.
So it was about, well, it says going to do 15 to 20, and I'd probably go to 22 if it goes it. But the joke is, it's a simple joke, right? It's like I was a doorman for 15 years, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm proud to say I only lifted my hand once, and I'll tell you, she fucking deserved it. That gets a laugh, right? Because they think, right, you had a woman. Now my next line is, not only is she a cheeky cunt, but she ran over my big toe in her wheelchair, the bastard. Right?
No,
So I had a woman in a wheelchair. Now my next line is, you're going to hell for laughing at that. I did not hit a woman in a wheelchair. She was on crutches. So what I do is redeem it. So I did, once I got wheelchair out of me, all you heard, and I mean as clear as this, you're not funny! I thought it was somebody's phone. I was like, what the? Still sort of smiling. You're not funny. Do better. Do better. And I'm like, then I was like, oh. And see when you're in that situation, a million things go through your head. First of all, I knew I was doing long enough. But I was trying to find, I was like, oh, somebody in a wheelchair. Guarantee. Looked over, doll, no wheelchair. Just, I says, listen, you need to wait to the end of the joke before you make an opinion on it. Do better. You're not funny. You haven't been funny.
She's doubling down.
Oh, she was getting stuck in, and I was like, did you think I was funny, ladies and gentlemen? Oh, big, yo, big cheer. I says, do you want me to go on? Yo. But you could see some of the women were all squandered. Like this one, me and her went on for a couple of months.
Right.
Of silence and just me and her. And her voice, you're not funny, do better, all this crack.
What a cunt.
Oh, man. And I was going, right, well, I'll just leave. Because I'm done, like, I've nearly it all done anyway. Because it was that part of the boundary joke. Because my other bit then about that is going home sober and your wife coming in drunk.
Aye.
The finisher. So it's like two jokes. And I'm glad I stayed on, because if I had left then, she would have got one up.
Well, I was bound down there about that.
You know what I mean? And it was a split decision. I was going to just go. I fuck you, love. Bye. That's what I was going to do. And then I just went, do you want to hear the rest? Yo! Big cheer. I even got texts from one. Did you see? This is how. So obviously, right, watching it must have been far harder than me being in it.
Oh, aye.
Because
I hate them moments, man.
Aye. Because when you...
Like, you used to even have a wee clip from Thursday night there, Paddy Flick up talking. I was like...
So Damon was on about his age, having no teeth and no hair, and he goes, excuse me! Paddy Flick, 75 with a full head of hair and teeth. I'm alright! But, what do you see? How do you see? So... That was like one of the punters. Ronan. There was a crowd of us at your show last night in Kiwis, and we all, in capital letters, thought you were brilliant or excellent, sorry. You didn't deserve that heckler, and your recovery was great. Let's just hope her drunk recovery today is as a painful one. Keep up the good work.
Aye, man.
On the way out, everybody stopped me. Oh, you were brilliant, don't worry about that. Somebody told her to shout the fuck up there, like. So that was like, what the fuck? If I hadn't had the skills, maybe from MCing and stuff like that there, and I don't even know how I dealt with it, because I just said, you need to wait to the end before you make an opinion. Do better. You're not one bit funny. Then I heard that after it, what do you think triggered her?
What?
The name Alistair McAllister.
Why did you say that?
So I do a bit at the start. I do a bit about the Travellers. Pat McDonough.
Aye.
Where did you get the name Alistair McAllister? Because he put a fake name on, so he didn't want nobody to know he was a traveller. He says, Rona, my sister Donna. I said, your sister Donna McDonough told you to call yourself Alistair McAllister? That's a joke.
Yeah.
Simple.
That is funny, yeah.
And it's not a big fucking thing.
It's not sectarian.
Now, apparently there's a solicitor called Alistair McAllister that... I don't know what happened, but there was something like the person she got done, fined or something by somebody, and he was...
the person in the crowd did? Ah, right, okay. So it was personal?
It was a personal trigger on her that she remembered this bastard that she didn't like.
Right.
Anyway, and then apparently her boyfriend finished her that day.
Good.
And she was drinking wine right up to the show.
Good.
So that's what it was. So she sent a big apology here.
Oh, did she?
I don't want to read it out, like, probably.
No, I'll read it out after.
It wasn't to me, it was the show.
It went off like a loose cannon.
A button.
Well, at least she knows. And do you know what? Like, I know I'm calling her a cunt, but
I'm not even
sometimes,
calling
like,
her cunt. That's it. It's
sometimes if you're just having a fucking bad day, you make fucking bad
man,
decisions.
see, to be fair about this person, apparently she's great. Apparently she's at every show. And after she... Like, because I was sitting going, imagine had it been Ryan Cullen came on. Because his jokes are...
cut through tree.
Well, his jokes...
Or even fucking Kieran Bartlett, who are just...
Mickey Bartlett even. Like Mickey... Fuck it. Or even Eamon. Do you know?
Aye, but, I mean, Kieran would say horrible...
Well, you haven't seen Cullen either, but... Because he's...
Cutthroat?
Aye. I'll tell you who would really... Who would have fucking... Like Big Declan. That kind of comedy wouldn't have went down at all, where... But it was like everybody was enjoying themselves. Thunderous lightning.
She wasn't reading the room.
I remember thinking at one stage, this is a top 10. It was going that well. Like, fucking, this is, I'm destroying here. Fucking brilliant. This is great. There's time, comedians, only comedians know this. There comes a gig where everything works. Your brain's in sharp as fuck. You have answers for everybody.
Yep.
You'll try new bits that you wouldn't dare try in other rooms. You feel like Billy Connolly.
Aye.
It's like somebody give you his skill for a night.
Aye.
And they come very few and far between where you really are just... I would say if you went on tour with your own hour and you're like 5 or 10 in, you'd start getting like that. But so that's why it was another shocker. Because it was like somebody's phone. "You're not funny," and the whole place went, "You're not funny," and I'm looking round. Because it's dark. Is this somebody's phone? "You're not funny." I went, "Oh fuck, somebody's complaining." Right, how to deal with this. This is the way your brain goes. "Oh no, is she in a wheelchair? Is it the wheelchair?" Not even the wheelchair joke to it in order.
No.
It was a name, a word, a reference.
But you know what? There is things that trigger people that set you down a bad path, that you're overthinking. And was that joke at the start of the...
That joke is the second last bit. I would do... Like, I did the joke about getting stuck into the wife. It's all
but obviously that triggered her. She was in a drunk state. She was in bad form.
It's the only joke that I really... Like, most of my jokes are self-deprecating, if that's right.
That is it.
There's a couple that aren't, and that was one of them. And I said, like, you talk about anybody else now, it's fucking frowned upon. So it was like, Jesus Christ.
I know, but that can cut you in your tracks, like.
And it was like, if everybody had agreed with her, I was like, does people think here I had a woman in a wheelchair, like?
You said you did.
Did you buy her? No, she came crawling back.
Is that part of the joke?
I don't bother with that, no. It was fucking too fair. It was tired. See, the thing about it, you can go down that road, hey, and you've got about 20.
Aye.
They're easy made, like.
See, I think if I was a comedian, then I probably would have got stuck in their appearance and went horrible, like.
That's what I'm saying. Half of me is thinking I should have been more a cunt. But, like, she never come back a second half. I think she was removed and all, like.
I know, and then if she wakes up the next day and she's apologetic and you were fucking completely horrible there, you know,
apparently too, the best thing about it, she's heard that joke before because she was there a year ago when I was there and I did that joke. So it was definitely down to herself and whatever's going on with herself. But that's the thing about stand-up comedy. Like, my first year, I was making people in rooms laugh. But I was wondering why none of the other comedians would take notice of me, you know, as headliner. Not for me as a headliner, but as a serious enough comedian.
Yeah.
Because they know what I know. I can see it now. See if somebody's in their first year and they're making people laugh. I can see all the things that they can't do, or she can't do, that you just have to get over time and time and time and do.
Experience.
The nerves, the jokes aren't polished, but see if you get a laugh back in, doesn't matter what you're saying, that verifies that you're brilliant.
I know, but then some of it never goes away, like, because I heard Geddes talking last day too in his podcast just about being fucking riddled with anxiety all day leading up to gigs.
This is why I'm taking me, because we're both professional youth workers, and it's a good profession if the money's got a wee bit better recently. But this is why I'm sort of taking, because because of the way things were going, I was leaving everything. Remember, comedy, but I don't even know if I want to be a full-time comedian because there's no security.
No,
unless you make it. You would need to make it Paddy,
man, that's the time,
Shane.
The time I thought I was going to drop everything and open up a gym too, and now I look back thinking, thank fuck.
No.
Because you be in a moment, and you think in that moment where your headspace is.
This is what I like to do.
And that's why people keep saying to me, "You're not going to do the comedy?" I was like, I don't know if I want to go week to week.
Imagine I left my job now and everything all week have to generate money some way.
Yeah, sure, I nearly done it on the mouth of COVID. I'd have been ruined. Ruined.
Oh, aye. You just stay tight and get the right fucking job. Another cracker happened the weekend too. This is like, it was one of the 3 gigs. I'm not going to say which one.
Okay. Wonder can I guess?
You'll guess. And it's not Flick.
Right, okay.
It's not in this town. I was standing outside
so it wasn't Strabane then?
I was standing outside the club. And I was like, now man in the 70s, came out of the pub, and I was standing with money out like that, and next minute, a fiver went right down the ground. I was like, oh fuck, I must help him. Then I was like, no, I'll give him stick instead. And he was walking over trying to get the fiver, right, and it looked like somebody had the fucking fishing rod. Going like that. No, I won. Yeah. I'm going to go on you, boy, you know, fuck up, and go ahead. And that's just the way it happened, man. He got it, brought it up, put it back on all the notes, right? Then he went like that, and I heard a beep, and I turned around. Local drug dealer. Just pulled that in front of him. Did the deal. Fucking got his fucking white powder. Turned and walked back and says to me, I'm watching you, sir. I walked into the club. About an hour later, after half time or something like that, I went down there looking, and there's just all. And I shouted, making it obvious too, I'm watching you, sir. I'm watching you, I know all this crack. And I'm going,
Are you feeling? I'm feeling great.
Unbelievable, man. And you knew he was running out of steam before he got to the. Because he looked, the car pulling on thought it was a taxi. No. I know exactly who it was. And then I just seen the wee deal going on and him then going back. Well into the 70s. Like.
And a comedy gig?
Yep. He wasn't on the gig now. He was in the bar beside the gig.
Oh, right, okay.
I was out for a smoke. And I just seen this all unfold. And then I went to the toilet then, the main bar, and all you seen was the long neck, the meerkat.
So there was 2 lines blowing down the street?
No, this is before he even got his stuff.
Aye, but the fiver was...
Oh, aye, two lines worth. Probably, I don't know.
75.
Easy.
Just take a Coke at 70.
Shoji. Well, then, he's obviously speed dealer with a drug dealer too, like.
Oh, aye.
Well, that's not his first rodeo.
No.
And I was thinking it was a wee innocent old man chasing his fiver up the street. And I was going to help him. Next minute, dealer, fucking muscles on him. Here you go. Thanks.
That wee fiver was for another schmuddocks at the bar.
I was probably roll up in news. Right, that was the, I need that to snuff it. I was going, the mad bastards, eh? This is fuck, you couldn't make it up.
And he's dealing old school cash. You can just revel it.
Fucking, I was just like, because it just was like a game of 2 halves. First of all, I was like, oh man, I need to help him. Oh, the gym there, and that fiver's blown away. But this is funny. So I give him abuse. Dog's abuse, like, God, you boy, fuck up, you. Stood on it, caught it with a foot, like. Got up. And it was just like, then I heard a beep and thought, fuck, there's his taxi. I was even in my head thinking the taxi man must think I'm a cunt, letting him run across the road. Because it was going across the middle of the road. And, drug dealer.
Oh, very good, huh? Fuck.
Seen the whole deal happening and everything. Well, it was just 2 boys that didn't give a fuck.
No.
The dealer
no.
The drug dealer and the drug dealie.
Dealie?
Dealie. Hello.
Well, I was in Croatia for a week. Oh, do you know what I done in Croatia?
Dirty.
Do you ever do something and you're like, that was funny, but also, am I a fucking child?
Go.
Do you know what? Stereotypes. Are stereotypes racist? Must get on to racism in a minute. Because
what do you mean?
Stereotypes are stereotypes for a reason. Like
there
were so many Asian people there with cameras.
Oh, I shouldn't have said true before you said that. I would all taking photos. They're not good phones.
No, but they have the big.
Well, they fucking.
And do you know what? They have the big camera. The
one where they look like ice cubes stuck on it. It was like all these. That's probably the lamp, wasn't it?
That was the lamp. And then now they have these new things where they have a big rod.
Dirty brutes.
Oh, Chinese small dicks. Stereotypes.
You're allowed to, apparently in China, you're allowed to beat your wife to death as long as. Well, your wife's allowed to beat you to death if you have an affair, as long as you beat them with a rod that's smaller than the circumference of your thumb. And that's where the term under the thumb came from.
Can we Google that in a minute? Just
because, write that down.
Because running boiled facts.
Get a tattoo done, yeah.
Right. Well, hold on.
Where did the ChatGPT? You'll know the look like.
Alright, do you know what? And I don't have to type it because you can actually dictate now.
Can you?
You can just speak into it.
That's going to be. Where did the term? Will it talk back? That'll be good.
Where did the term under the thumb come from? Comes from an old English expression meaning under one's control or dominance. An old English expression.
Then can Chinese people kill their husband?
Running boiled facts.
It's English words.
In China, in the old days, could a wife beat her husband to death with a stick smaller than the circumference of her thumb if the husband was cheating? Dun, 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 dun. That's a fascinating question, but no.
But no.
There's an old English common law concept called the rule of thumb, where it is misattributed to that a man could beat his wife with a stick no thicker than his thumb. It was never officially law. It was just a misunderstanding.
So somebody told me.
You got a couple in there
And
tied
China?
together and mixed up.
What's China got to do with fucking anything?
No.
If you want to learn something, don't fucking learn from.
Hey man, did you see Black Patty? Oh, here's what I was doing. So there's a whole group of the Chinese people have big long sticks, and it must be like GoPros.
Yeah.
Way up, but they're videoing everything. Like they're just walking around videoing their whole holiday. Would you want to watch that back?
No.
Like there was a woman holding up her phone and she was just walking around, just looking at things, talking to her friends, but just videoing everything. Like not taking it.
Their whole videos getting recorded, or their whole holidays recorded.
Recorded.
That's mad.
But anyway, we were walking down this wee narrow street and it came to a crossroads. It was all buildings. And there was a group of about 20 Chinese people. And they were all in front chattering.
How do you know they're Chinese?
Korean or Japanese.
That's the reason.
Asian.
Right. Well,
Sorry, I meant to say Asian.
You weren't going to rub the temples there.
I was thinking.
I mean,
Anyway, Karen was standing right beside me, and they were about 5 feet away, just in front. We were going to walk through them and walk on. But as we came to the corner, I felt a fart coming on.
Mm-hmm. Oh, aye. And they're all low down to
But man, I let off this massive ripper.
loud.
Aye, but then just jumped into the side alley.
Did they all turn around and look at Karen? That's genius.
Just standing against the wall.
You're the only one doing this. If you had a time-heady fucking cat.
And then just walk around like, smell.
But she just knew you're disgusting.
You're a childish fuck.
You fucking win.
And then you're laughing away, and then the more you think about it, you're like, am I
No.
waiting?
You have to live and die by your wee last-minute decisions.
Oh, but man, hey, what a country, huh? Croatia, if you ever get the chance.
Did you go on the... As you wouldn't.
We done the Walk of Shame. Shame. It's all Game of Thrones. Like that's where a lot of Game of Thrones was. So a lot of their tourists stuff is around Game of Thrones, King's Landing, the Red Keep, and then there's a wee island, Lochram, that was Quarth or something. Where remember there was do you remember all the Sunny Islands? That's where there was like a king.
Where the boy got his head crushed.
Maybe over there, and we done the tour around that. But man, see, just
I went to the north has up the coast there. Is that Kingsland? No, where's that?
they have something else too, yeah. Because what do you call them there? Paddy thing?
Ironstone or Iron, the family Ironclad or something. But it was always bucketing down and raining.
The Iron Throne in Game of Thrones sat in King's Landing, was it?
So what was your place called?
King's Landing.
So the place up in Ballycastle. Ballycastle. We were up in the residential one time. Remember, we stayed up beside it. Where your man got his tool cut off. Remember that? Ramsay cut your man's penis off.
Yeah.
That's where he was from. That was his castle there.
Right.
The Ironclad or something. His sister then took over and all. That was good right up to the last season.
But man, see, just good weather and.
Did you see all the races down in Dublin?
Aye, man, that guy from Letterkenny, Niall McConnell, is it?
He's not. He's from He's from outside Clary.
Is he?
What do you call it? Bally. What's the next place after Clary?
Kilgordon?
Before Kilgordon, the very first. Where the gentleman was?
Castle Fun.
Castle Fun. That's where he's from.
See, you getting stuck into Black Paddy.
I could have fucking killed him on it, you know. We were doing, me and Jordy, what do you call him?
Robinson?
Me and Jordy were in Clary anyway doing that.
Jordy McDermott.
Jordan McDermott, I was doing a video for the boys up in Clary. They were doing
that's right, Clary Boy
a Clary Cowboy competition. I says, man, that's the worst name. You know what I mean, Cowboys? Who wants anything? Who wants to enter any competition with Cowboys? Anyway, we were coming out of the pub and he was standing there, your man Niall.
Oh, that's right.
That's right. They started going to me, what the fuck you do? I said, what? Now, it's hard to get serious when you're looking like fucking a Texas Ranger.
You're just like Woody from Toy Story.
I was going to say Yellowstone there, but I Woody, because of the wee stupid hat and all.
And you're going to shit the Yellowstone?
I don't
when you look like Rip from Yellowstone.
More like that fat Woody. I look more like that fucking cowboy shampoo.
You look like fucking Buzz Lightyear.
Shampoo with the cowboy hat.
You look like Buzz Lightyear dressed up as Woody.
Aye, so, and I was on that mind frame because I was acting a dopey her. If you want to come down and get down, down. So I'm in that mood and he's like, so he must, because it's self-importance, thought the camera out was because of him and I'm catching him. They question what's on, no.
You dressed as a cowboy.
Me as a cowboy, and I was going, hey, the camera's not at you, well, don't turn it on at me and all. And I was like, fucking readily just driving in the jazz, hey. And I'd love to too, the face on him. He is racist, like.
No.
Did you see him, the Paddy?
Man, tight.
Paddy did a joke about we're going to take over. Laughing, messing about, and he going, you're going round saying there's going to be Denzel Washingtons everywhere, didn't ye? And then people are going back home and all. I'm living here all his life. Well, he moved here when he was wee, like. And he's one of the best, if you think about it, for the race relations in the country, like.
Of course, he travels round.
See the men in them, but did you see the British flag half to the Irish flag?
Yeah.
It's all right-wing fuckers. You know what? I have friends that are sort of supporting. Have you got any?
What?
Mates that sort of support what's going on? See,
no,
people don't look...
my mates would be completely the other side, like.
People don't look at the just cause, or the central cause is the government. And they're all shouting Sinn Féin traitors. Sinn Féin aren't running the government down south.
No.
Fianna Gael and Fianna Fáil, and nobody's mentioning them.
No.
And it's always the poor people that attack poorer people. Mm. So that, like, the people that are down, we're struggling, no.
Aye.
But, and then there's stories about, say, a village with 200 people, and then the hotel fills with 200 migrants, army aids, migrants and all. It's just all, we've seen it 100 times, seen it happen to the Irish when they went to America, we see it happening all the time. Many fucking movies and history shows you have to watch.
Aye.
About how people were treated.
I know, but man, even the kneecap stuff from the weekend. Did you see that? Did you see that interview?
What interview?
Here, I'll just play it here.
If Kneecap, which is a band I've never even heard of, if they want to be for the Palestinian people, then they shouldn't be anti-Israel. They should be anti-Hamas. And to see on stage a large billboard that says "F Israel." Unreal. It's unreal. No, this didn't happen in Nazi Germany in the 1930s. This was in 2025 in America. Beyond staggering.
Well, and that's what I wanted to ask you was, how do we combat this with young people? I feel like we can see how it got here, which is the absolute. But how do we combat it now? How do we turn these young people around?
Well, I think we have to remove these activists from these authority positions. I think that's the best word for it. We've seen these rogue activist judges. Of course, that's been pretty heavily reported on. People are beginning to open their eyes, but these activists have infiltrated into academia, these large, prestigious, at one point maybe considered prestigious academic institutions. We have to remove...
That's unbelievable.
Have to remove them, have to remove activists.
There was a video on the...
Freedom of speech, forget about that.
You're only on the right wing one day with freedom of speech. There was a video of a wee girl, blue in half, did you see it?
Aye.
Half her body down there, half, and the same day they were coming out with that shit about...
There's a guy...
Rogue. People are being rogue because they're calling out genocide. How the fuck are anybody even deciding to just stick up for Israel now? Even Israelis are protesting in Israel now about it.
Aye.
Like, it's not a Jewish thing.
No.
And if people say it is, they're fucking racist.
It's a genocide thing.
It's a Zionist thing. It's Zionism, because there's Zionists there that don't even believe in... Like, I watched Louis Theroux last night. Did you watch it?
No, what?
So he went to the West Bank. The West Bank's got 3 million people on it. But Israel's are going to wipe them out. So they've put these settlements down, stick a tent down, and they build some, and then it builds on the housing estate. And Palestinians are allowed to walk in it in their own country. So Louis went there 15 years ago, came back this time. Fucking hell, man, you want to see it? They're just outright.
Oh, this is recent then? This is back up to date?
It must have been there a couple of months ago.
Fuck.
It's a wonder. It's on BBC iPlayer. Go and watch it. And Luther's leaving there going that they're Israelis are cunts. The way they treated him even. Who are you? What do you want? Get that camera down. He could walk up streets, but the Palestinian guy who's Lama couldn't.
But how can Americans back that? That's American. That's Fox News. That's American.
But it's not American. That's Zionism. This is the thing. It's not the people. Like all the universities, all the students are up in arms, and they're on about arresting them and all. I believe, right, that I think, like, I don't understand America too, because the Zionists, see the Brits, the Zionists killed about 23 of them one time, blew up a hotel in Israel at the start when they just started off. They tried to kill a shipload of American soldiers too, all documented, and they were told it was Americans, still got ahead with it. But I think fucking the Israelis have a wild lot of stuff from Epstein's Island, because he was a Zionist and he thought he was safe, but he was like a daddy, where apparently recorded everything. Like apparently, you go into Epstein's big mansion on the island, it had big life-size paintings of like Donald Trump and a nappy, and other presidents getting walked like a dog. Massive.
I'm not surprised.
Massive. And then you look at the thing, the many times they were over. They reckon if you seen how many came on submarine.
And your woman killed herself the weekend?
The one that says about the prince.
Yeah.
41.
And she actually has a post, if I ever die of suicide. That's not how I died.
Because there was a witness. That was their only evidence. They get show Prince fucking...
Man, it was a tight couple of weeks. You had the fucking Pope. You had...
The Pope ringing Gaza every day. And nobody taking on board what he does. What he did. Like, he must have no power.
But I mean, like, the Pope died. We have the local... Like, even on a local level, we had the priest that was caught as a pedo. The kneecap stuff. Even on a local level, like last night, there's sectarianism. Like, there's riots in Derry.
Then you've
got the Black Patty, and it's just so much divide. Here, and just when we're on this, so I was listening to Free State a couple of days ago, and they brought up this. So they brought up this survey. It was done with Lucid Talk. They must be like they must do surveys all over the country.
Lucid polls, I know them.
And they were doing a poll on bilingual signage amongst Protestants and Unionist voters. So if you go to a leisure centre or your street, it'll have the name of the street, but just below it'll have it in Irish as well.
Yeah. Like they do in Wales and Scotland and Ireland.
Yeah. So first question, how would you react if the local council put up Irish language street signs on the road where you live? Would you move, not move, or it would make no difference? 71% of unionists said they would move house. They would move fucking house.
Where to?
Anywhere that doesn't have an Irish language.
No, if Irish bilingual is going in the loyalist and unionist areas, it's definitely going to be everywhere else you move to.
Aye, but there's 71% of unions are saying, hey, there's a housing crisis, but also if you put fucking Cade Mila Falcha at the bottom of my road, I'm going to move out.
Aye. And it's not even the bottom road. That's mental, man. It's like, do you see the video I put up? What happened? This English couple, elderly couple, are leaving England and moving abroad because there's too many foreigners in England. So they're going to be living with foreigners the rest of their life then. They're leaving where they live because there's foreigners. They live abroad where it's all foreigners.
Yeah.
There you go.
Second question. Ask respondents to imagine they were housed somewhere in a furrowed area with Irish language street signs. Would that make them more likely to move there, less likely to move there, or make no difference? 88% said under no circumstances would they move there. The DUP, 89%, TUV, 86%, UUP, 84%.
TUV was lower than the DUP with that response? What do you mean the TUV?
Was lower.
What,
so it must have been TUV voters. 86% of TUV voters said they would not, under no circumstances, would they move there. And here's the interesting thing: middle class voters in the socio-economic group ABC1, not sure what that had an identical negative reaction to working class voters, which tells you, of course, that this is sectarianism is extremely deeply embedded because it's through the middle classes. Another part of the survey also polled Protestants who were not unionist voters. and 88% of those said that they wouldn't move there. Like, I'd get absolutely identical response.
So just thinking they're going in the IRA bandit country to see how there's. Well, that needs to be looked at, doesn't it? Because that's, well, man. See, to be fair too, see when I'm gigging in a real loyalist area and I'm parking and there's, like we did the Fountain Estate, brilliant gig. I fucking loved it. But when I was parking in the estate, I've got rosary beads hanging. Just naturally, I didn't want my car smashed. You know what I mean?
Because somebody could just walk by and...
The other thing is, but they're the same as us. Like, you could pull up the any street in Strabane, you'll see a few tricolours, and you start, if you're not from here, you're going, and anybody that passes you, he must be the head of the UBF.
But there's one more question. This is related to council-run leisure centres. If the leisure centre had Irish signage, would you A, use the facility, B, less likely to use the facility, or would make no difference? Do you know what percentage of unionists said that they wouldn't use a leisure centre if it had bilingual signage? I was going to say, considering the 71% of them are actually going to fucking move house, that it would actually be up in the 90s, but I was wrong, and in the spirit of compromise, which pulses through the unionists surveyed, only 77% said they wouldn't use the leisure centre, which I, for one, run and interpret that as a sign of progress towards reconciliation in the United Ireland. High figures, like for...
They must feel threatened, which is sad because they're us. That's the sad thing about it. They're the same as us when we live in... Like, we have more in common with people in Ulster than we do people in Connacht or whatever, you know what I mean?
Oh, 100%,
But there's a lot of Protestants I know that just accept they call themselves Northern Irish. You know, the Ireland part is significant, like.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people saying, like, there's a lot of Scottish that like being Scottish and British. Do you know, for here it was just British and there was no Irish mentioned.
Yeah.
But I don't know. But you're right, man, this weekend, if you're on X, you're just thinking the world's gone to fuck, because I'm on that and it's just the extreme Zionist, the extreme fucking loyalism, the extreme right wing. Ireland for Irish and fucking tricolours that represent right wing thinking. And
this week I really felt it closing a bit.
Like Black Paddy, like he went there. Do you know the thing about Black Paddy there too? That's why people don't fuck it. They should have embraced him. Because then they would make a statement that we're not racist, we're here against the government. But then they shouted Sinn Féin, or traitors. Sinn Féin have no power.
Oh.
They do up the north, then they've got loyalists and fucking right wing.
I'm just seeing so much division, whether it's black and white or green or orange or
skin colour,
religion. Jesus, man, it's just.
And you know the mad thing about it? You're probably like me. I don't get involved in any of that. Do you know what I mean? It seems to be the people that are just involved and warped and can't see why you're not involved. No, I can't stand by when Palestinians are getting babies are getting destroyed. And UN workers and
doctors, hospitals.
You can't say that it's Hamas's fault. There's no Hamas in the West Bank, you know. It's not ruled or controlled by Hamas, but they're still getting fucking killed every day. So it's just Israel. The Zionists that run Israel are evil bastards, and that's it.
I know, but man, even those two
49 minutes in.
Even those attacks in Derry at the weekend, Catholic and Protestant, like. None of them young boys care about Catholic or Protestant. None of them go to mass or follow.
Somebody older says, right. It's the same as when you see the. But
it's embedded. They know. They know nothing about religion. They just
even rioting with the PSNI. That's not them against the British fucking. See, when we were young, the experiences we had from the RUC and the British Army and all was like hate. They hated us, like, and we hated them, and sorta. Like, you could look at, like, you could say a REC man hates us because he had a mate that was shot dead by the Ra. And then they're in the Ballycommon, which is IRA territory. And then you can understand where we come from, where we just see evil and hate.
And plus, they were coming out of England where they were missing their families and friends were getting killed. They were coming to, like, the jungle.
And they were wee working class young fellas, too, in the army. So and a lot of them, when you interview them now, they understood then. They were like, we have some cheek. But they were just doing a job. So it was always the rich people that don't get involved in any of the wars that start all the wars, and everybody else dies while they get richer and fucking over the head of all that. But nowadays, it's like rioting against when they're in Craigan and they all just turn on their cops, and then they see it as us against the state. It's not.
No.
Conversation now, we're that, like, we're the last people that remember the Troubles. Like, 30-year-old wouldn't remember.
No.
Like, so you're talking some generations of people that don't know. My son and daughter and all that don't know anything about it. No. And because Strabane, we always say it, we don't have the intentions of interfaces or sectarianism or anything like that there. They just live a normal life, don't know anything about it. No. It's all like real old stories.
Yeah.
So people see the people that are trying to get it going again for their own ends. Martin McGuinness said a cracker one time. He says, I'm noticing all these 30, 40 and 50-year-olds starting these handlings and with these dissident Republicans. And he says, I just want to ask one question. Where were you all when the war was really happening? Because they were alive.
Where were you, Brian? Forbes.
Forbes.
Right, on that cheery note.
Jesus, that was a fucking heavy podcast.
Hey,
who's your next pub? We've got good questions coming from, or what is that?
I don't think we'll go questions. We'll surprise it on them.
We have a couple of good guests coming up here that we're delighted to get. And it's not a comedian this time. Bye.
Or a magician. Up a hood.
I thought you were saying you're or a microphone. No Irish.
Céad míle fáilte, up a hood.